Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? This is Eric Principe here for Faster Humans. So I finished my 72-hour fast. I did, and actually, as a matter of fact, I did 74 hours. For those that that are following me here, and for those that listen to my podcast and my YouTube videos, I just want to say thank you because one of the things that I really excited about is Gal82. Thank you so much for joining the live broadcast. So 72 hours, it was something that I have been done for the past, Gal, thank you so much for the wait. So something I've been doing, practicing for the past, almost like more than about 2 years now, doing, practicing between 24, 48, 36, now 72 hours is a thing, a ritual for me to do once a month. And I think that for anyone who is practicing this, is a huge benefits out of it, great things, about doing this 22 hours. No worries, all the way from Australia. What's up, man? Australia's in the house. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate if you listen to the podcast in Australia. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate the people from Australia for listening to the podcast. Now YouTube is all connected now. I'm making sure that everything is all set up in that way, so that way you can be able to see all this interaction. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate the fact that you guys are listening and the podcast, helping out, and don't forget the reviews. It makes a huge difference for me. But anyways, let's talk about the benefits. Let's talk about how I feel. Today this feel amazing. Obviously I did 74 hours. I'm going to show you right now on the screen best way to break a long fast. Well, and I'm going to tell you right now, you're looking at I did 74 about 74 hours because I decided to cook the meat, and by the time the meat was cooking, it took a little while, and I'm pretty sure it was like somewhere around 74 hours. 74 hours. Because those 25 minutes was between me eating and somewhere around that. But I would suggest it was 74 hours fast. How do I break my fast? Well, my friend, look, I had a big piece of steak. Well, probably 6 and 8 ounces. That I broke my fast with. It's recommended somewhere around there. I decided that today was about the steak and a piece of avocado, just to kind of sort of like change out a little bit of the pace of it, knowing that avocado is a fruit and not necessarily a vegetable. But I wanted to increase that amount of fat within the avocado, and I feel good. That's pretty much what I'm gonna have for the day. I had about almost two pieces of steak. They were very thin steaks, and they were not pretty big. I feel satisfied. I feel good, and this is one of the things that I kind of sort of like listen to other YouTubers and other people that have done 72-hour fast. Is that when you're doing this 72-hour fast, is that your body's super sensitive. Definitely, they recommend no carbohydrates whatsoever. If the lay is very minimal, I think it was one of them was that bone broth with like beef and rice noodles will be like a way to do so. Rice noodles, very minimal amount of carbohydrate because it's broken down very to not much of a carbs within the rice noodles. So but I tend to actually do it with the steak, and I had done the experiment with the rice noodles and the beef and something like that to break the fast after 72 hours. One of the things that I can tell you is it's just this process, it's a mindset. I can feel my body, that are already going through that sort of like demo of hitting that time frame of where my body needs food. And that's around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I start feeling this wave, right? And that's a normal thing. It's a thing that I feel that I can tell you it's a normal feel of hunger, but in a good way. It's not a bad way, because I'm so used to do it once a month. So having that wave coming around that time frame, it's pretty understandable. One of the things that I can tell you in regards of the 72 hours is that once you have that meal, which is pretty much just that one meal with the steak and the avocado and why not, is that yeah, you feel like you want to eat much more, but in reality, I'm not feeling that feeling of, oh my god, I need to have much more. No, you need to create that habit, and once you go back to your fast after 72 hours, when is your next meal? Well, my next meal is until tomorrow, probably around maybe noontime, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And on the weekends, I do like a 16-8. So kind of go back a little bit more, like extend, the meals, a little bit, about 2 or 3 meals. So it all depends on the day. Like the weekends is much more like a 16-8 or 18-6. I try not pass to eat over late at night. Late eating is not something I like to do. So try to minimize it, because this was just one thing. It's like the steak, the avocado, and that's it. So I'm done for the day. But having water, I can feel this surge of energy because I'm feeding protein and essential fat. I mean, I cook the steak with a ghee, sort of ghee butter, and actually makes a huge difference. I was thinking about it, cooking it with olive oil, but I decided to use ghee. But as Gal 82, I just want to tell you that for anyone who is thinking about doing 72 hours, it's a process. It's not something going to happen. It's not going to happen overnight, So I know probably a lot of people, like, what about if I do 24 hours? Yeah, it's a process. Like I did 24 hours here, 36 hours here, 40 hours here, until I started getting adjusted to the whole process. So there's 8 health benefits of fasting backed by science. And I just want to tell you the first one. I'm not going into details, but I'm going to give you the link. It's going to be available on the podcast. The link to is from Healthline, and I kind of want to give you some pros on doing so. The first one is promotes blood sugar control by reducing insulin resistance, and this is one of the things that we talk about a lot with a lot of the podcasters and YouTubers, and the discussion is reducing that insulin resistance, reducing that inflammation and so on and so forth, So let me just read a little bit of what this says. Several studies has found that fasting may improve blood sugar control, which could be especially useful for those at risk of diabetes. I used to be pre-diabetic back in 2010. If I would have known this back then, I'd probably be using fasting instead of going crazy with the workouts. But at the end of the day, you got to push the body, and so you don't know what your human limitations are until you actually push the body to be able to get the best results that you want. The other thing about this is, in fact, the study in 10 people with type 2 diabetes showed that short-term intermittent fasting significantly decreased blood sugar levels. And this is just doing 16A, meaning intermittent fasting, only 16A protocol. It's just helping the body get into where it's supposed to be and to reduce that blood sugar. Imagine you're not eating breakfast, you're not eating snacks, maybe lunch and maybe dinner. And that's just about it, because you're making it, your window slightly much more smaller than what it's supposed to be. Because I started with 16A and started little by little making it shorter, because you're gonna have plateau. One of the things I tell a lot of people when it comes down to the 16A protocol is that eventually you're gonna have plateau. So that's when you extend a little bit more your fasting. That's when you start practicing the 18-6, 19-5, and then you move on until you're like almost like an OMAD lifestyle. That's what I normally do through the weekday. And meanwhile, another review found that both intermittent fasting and alternating day fasting, were as effective as limiting calorie intake and reducing insulin resistance. And this is one of the things that I can tell you this much. When I was in 2017, I was lethargic, tired, constantly on a daily basis. I probably had like about 15 to 20 pounds that I probably gained just because I was eating 5 to 6 meals per day, but I was working out. And I didn't realize much more of a difference is, just doing 16A. And the first week to the second week, I felt a huge difference as far as energy, as far as, going to bed much more earlier. And so imagine, eating 5 to 6 meals per day. Your body is not becoming self-sufficient. Your body is just feeding in a constant basis. And I tell people this because, the process of burning fat is when your body is not fed. And so once you are in a fasted state, like like anybody who practice 16 or any extended fasting, you're gonna notice a huge difference in your energy because you're not feeding your body. Like basically now your body's switching from glycogen stored down to actually body fat. So I do all that during Monday through Friday, 16A on the weekends. That's perfect. And the reason why I say this is the SGal82. SGal82 from Instagram is asking a question. This is gonna go on YouTube, so that way you can be able to see it. SGal82, you can guys follow her, follow them, follow on through Instagram. So the question is, or actually what she's saying is, do OMAD Monday to Friday, 16A, and the weekends, perfect. If it works for you, do so. Because I think everybody's discussion is different, everybody's lifestyle is different. So if that works for you and you're seeing amazing results and you're seeing the difference, by all means, continue. Do not stop, because I think that the bottom line to it is that you're getting the most out of your protocols, you know. So I used to do that same thing. Yeah, it takes a little while because, you know, it's like you're adapting, you know. Yeah, and so when you're adapting this process, when you're adapting your body to be much more you know, self-efficient, and that's what it is. You're adapting your body to be eventually, you know, what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to, you know, burn the excess body fat naturally. There's no pills. There is no crazy diets. No, you cannot sort of, you overcome. Exercising is hard for me as I felt like I used to eat straight after. But yeah, you know, exercise is a process too. It's a form of adaptation. You know, maybe one week you do, you know, 20 push-ups. The following week you're doing 30, and the following week after that you do 40. So your body is adapting to that process, and because you're practicing and you're pushing the body, and that's basically what it is. So I'm getting used to fasting while exercising. It's just one of the things that I tell, you know, for me was too the same thing. You know, I was never adjusted to not having any meals, you know, after working out. I used to have a breakfast, a snack, dinner. So getting to that process on where your body is kind of sort of like just utilizing the store fat, it was in a form of adaptation, in a way of, you know, kind of sort of getting together and utilizing what it's supposed to, you know, because come on, I mean, how much fat can you possibly store in your body? But obviously, you know, back in the days, I used to weigh 220 pounds, and I didn't realize how much weight that I actually put on until, you know, baby pictures came out and I was holding my baby, and then I realized I need to start working out. But that was just part of it. It enhances the process of you burning fat, and I'm getting used to the fasting while exercising. So yes, once again, it's a process. The other thing I was going to tell you about, you know, the 8 reasons promotes better health by fighting inflammation, and this is one of the things why your body is hurting when you're working out. See, I didn't understand it. Now I do. When I was working out back in the days, back in 2010, you know, I was eating those 5 to 6 meals per day, and I used to feel sore the following day. Well, obviously that was the part of the inflammation part of it. It's just the body is not used to pushing the way it's, you know, of working out between 30 minutes or 45 minutes to an hour workouts. Eventually it's gonna push the body more and more and more, but it's fighting those inflammations that you have. But if you're eating good, at the end of the day, those inflammations are gonna be reduced. But you gotta understand something. Once you start adding carbohydrates and sugars into your diet, that is gonna take a toll on your body, because you're stopping the process of, you know, of the switch, of metabolic switch, where you trying to be self-efficient with intermittent fasting, that you want to make sure that you deplete all that glycogen into your body and then move on to store fat, so that way you utilize that. Of course, anybody who's having a hard time working out has a lot of inflammation, joint inflammation, you know, muscles and so on and so forth. Imagine it's that stored fat that is being there for weeks, days, years, and imagine somebody who weighs 300 pounds, they got to push much more, a little bit more than usual. So that's one of the reasons one of the things that I think I recommend going on the same pace when you're doing when you're doing intermittent fasting or fasting, because you're going through that pace and you're going through, working towards making your body more self-efficient. And so at the end of the day, what comes down to is that you're trying to stop those inflammations going through your body. The third other is may enhance heart health by improving blood pressure, triglycerides, and cholesterol levels. And this is one of the things too, what I do it's because not just to be fancy and just because, normally what it does is help you lose weight. But at the end, what matters is, heart health, triglycerides, and cholesterol levels. One of the things that I did was, and I probably can show it to you guys, I went to check my blood pressure. So that way I'm going to share that with you guys. So this is my blood pressure. I was 103 over 59. It's a normal blood pressure. That's in the 48-hour fasting. That was like 48 hours within the fasting range. So that's basically, if you look at it on what it is showing, is it's a normal blood pressure. After, even though I did it after a workout, so you have an idea now how's it look like. How's it looking? So by looking at the picture, and for the people that are going to be looking at it on YouTube, you'll be able to see the video on that. The other thing is may boost brain function and prevent neurodegenerative disorders. This is one of the things that have been taught on Boston University, and something that I follow. Thomas Siegfried is a doctor from Boston University who's doing a lot of research of fasting and brain improvement, and this is something that has been probably studied for the past probably like 10 years or so, or a little bit more than that, way more than that, because I think he has a lot of time been doing this. This was in Boston University, and I forgot but there's a video that you can watch that is from Thomas Siegfried, doctor. He talks about the effects of sugar in your body, what it does, contribution with type 2 diabetes and Alzheimer's disease, which is type 3 diabetes, which is the level of what they believe is what it has caused a lot of the people that they have Alzheimer's disease. Number 5 is aids weight loss and limiting calorie intake and boosting metabolism. One of the things I used to say when I used to train people is just like, yeah, you got to eat 5 to 6 minutes per day. It's going to boost your metabolism. But in reality, it was the reverse. It was not actually the real information was given to us as trainers, because it's all about monetizing everything they can possibly get out of training somebody. When you train somebody, the main goal is to lose weight. But at the end of the day, then after losing a specific amount of weight, they end up gaining weight. I'm getting used to it. Okay, sorry, just make sure that sorry. So, that's a huge difference. Yeah, you kick your metabolism slightly completely different than what you would do when you're eating that breakfast. So breakfast is not the most important meal of the day, as many has been told to us, just because they need to monetize out of your pocket, so that way they make money out of you. All right, so number 6 is increased growth hormone secretion in vital growth and metabolism and weight loss and muscle strength. Now, one of the things that I used to think when I was training people and when I was training myself is, oh my God, I'm going to lose muscle mass. But the reality is your body is self-efficient, it's going to protect muscle mass, and it's going to protect everything it can possibly do in order to keep you alive. So in order within those 24 hours, 40-hour fast, your body is secreting HGH, human growth hormone, which is a natural way to be able to increase, increase the muscle mass density and protect the muscle mass. So I used to think, hey, I'm losing muscle mass because I'm not eating. That's not true. The bottom line is it's been 3 days. I look fantastic. I feel amazing. I'm going to show up before and after of the 3 days, because I have a 3 day before the 3 days. But I just want to say that this particular thing about muscle growth, and think about it, our ancestors used to go for weeks without food, so they needed to hunt. So if they were hunting for a specific animal or trying to get something, some of them used to walk the land as much as they could. So imagine you're not having food for weeks, and then boom, There is. There's, you have to hunt it down and kill it and take it apart and cook it and then move on for another probably a week or 2 weeks. Who knows? I mean, it used to be different. We constantly find food anywhere within the first 5 to 10 miles within leaving your house. So imagine we don't have those excuses anymore, right? So now there's no hunting for us anymore. So we are more sedentary. We are not. That's one of the reasons why I say, workout, get that workout going. 20 to 30 minutes, maybe an hour of an activity that you can possibly do that it pushes your body to be much more self-efficient. So, all right. So I'm getting used to the fasting. All right. So that's increased hormone. Yeah. Listen, man, you're gonna be lean muscle. You're gonna find your body to be lean muscle, especially if you're lifting, weights, and if you're doing, a specific amount of cardio. Switch it up. I suggest strength training first, then cardio, because you gotta work on your cardiovascular. 7, could delay aging and extend longevity. I'm 44 years old. A lot of people said to me, you look like you're in your 30s. And I'm 44 years old right now. So could delay aging and extend longevity? Both, yeah, because imagine you're not putting, one of the things that what sugar does into your body is that it creates wrinkles. It creates huge amounts of wrinkles. And you gotta understand something in regards of having all this much sugar. Believe me, I love cheesecake, I love chocolate cake, I love all the specific things that comes with like the yummy Candyland type of thing going on and in my life, right? But one of the things that I can tell you this much when it comes down to actually eating it, I do it sporadically once a month, maybe twice a month. I get to have, I'm going to be doing more cardio first, drop some weight, and then okay. I'm not sure. I was just trying to read your post. I'm going to be doing more cardio first, drop some weight, and then resist. What you think? Okay. Yeah, I mean, you gotta look. You gotta do what makes you feel good. More cardio if you want to do more cardio. If you want to do more strength training, I feel good doing strength training. I do cardio sporadically, and I'm trying to. That's why I do a lot of jump rope within my workout program. I try to make sure that my jump rope is between 1 to 2 minutes, and I spread it out within 5 sets of jump rope while I'm training. It helps, and eventually it's gonna help you. But you gotta see. You have to have patience. Take time. You're learning something new every day, so that you gotta remember that that's part of that process. And you obviously you're not aging as a rapid way because you're not. When you're not digesting anything, your body is repairing. It's taking care of what it's supposed to take care of. And that's what is necessary in order to help the body maintain, giving it a break from all these foods, Believe me, once again, if I knew what I know now, I wish, I could be probably much more efficient, much more helpful. But, it is what it is. It is right now, and a great thing I'll be able to share with everyone and anybody in regards to this, how it's going to... And it helps. It helps for those that have questions about it. Number 8, may aid in cancer prevention and increase effectiveness of chemotherapy. All right, so this is one of the things that is a very touchy subject for me because I have a family member that have passed away from cancer. I have another one who has cancer. I have spoke to this about it and kind of don't want to really kind of share this part of it. But I'm going to kind of sort of give you a little bit of an idea. I having a conversation with this person, and I'm talking about 2 years ago. I said, explain to me that has cancer, and it has to do the biopsy. It has to do this. It has to do that. My suggestion was I always have a second, third, and fourth opinion. The reason why I said this is because I think by having different opinions on what you need to do, and you have to go the natural way, because you never know what is it behind the information that's given to you. So you have to have an options on be able to take advantage to your health, because we have options like vegan, carnivore, keto, and so on and so forth. So many diet. We have so many options, and I never reject anything that works for you. If anything works for you, continue doing so, because at the end, I'm gonna do what works for me. So that's what you have to remember, having options in regards of what your process, because I know it's gonna be medications, it's gonna be therapies and stuff like that. The natural the therapy, the better. And my suggestion in regards of preventing this cancer prevention, and the reality, not you don't have to deal with chemotherapy. Just remember that it's just a process in which I suggest that you have to take your time on that. And as for anyone who they're suffering from cancer, I have seen friends, I have seen relative, and it sucks, because the last thing is seeing somebody suffer and die. But utilizing these protocols can be very helpful, and doing tests and doing all these little things that improve your health can make a huge difference. Yes, I do take some here and there. I do some protein shakes. They have superfoods. I have I take vitamin. I have fish oil. I think I take vitamin C. I have quite a few vitamin C. The different little things that actually my wife tends to buy for me. And so what I can tell you is that the most important thing about taking all these vitamins is that your body stores in your bones. There's something really interesting that I was listening to, and I don't know who was talking about this, but it was something about the fact that your bones has enough minerals and the nutrients and vitamins that you probably be depleted, but they're still available to you, just in case if you going on in a starvation mode where you're not having food. And this is the reason why hunters and people in thousands of years ago, they used to be able to survive. And so we have gone through a huge expansion of where we are right now, and I think that you got to remember that this is not something that happens overnight. And I think that that I'm very thankful and grateful that I'm able to practice this, be able to share with you guys, be able to talk about it on a podcast and so on YouTube. But at the end, what matters is that you got to start somewhere, right? You got to start somewhere, whether it's exercise, eating better, making sure that you not have less carbohydrates, less processed food, so then eventually you are more self-efficient. Think about it. You want to get the work done early. You want to get your work done efficiently. You want to make sure that you're getting it done. Someone or another, you want to get it done. So for anyone who's watching this video, I just want to say thank you so much. I wanted to come in and kind of share my 72-hour fast. Actually, it was 74. And I just want to say thank you so much for those that are giving reviews on my podcast. It makes a huge difference. For you to be able to check it out, the YouTube channel is something that's available on the podcast. I not necessarily share it here on Instagram, but it's going to be available, a lot of episodes and a lot of things I'm going to start putting together, so that way I can transfer all the stuff that I created through podcast. And I just want to make sure that you guys have access to that. The other thing I was going to tell you guys is that I do streaming, and I do only about 2-3 hours a day. No problem. Esgal82 from Instagram. I just want to say, from Australia, thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate the fact that you're coming to join us here. Let me see. All right. So just remember that we are here to support you. We're here to let you know that you can do it, and we know that you're not alone on this ride, on this journey. And so thank you so much. Love to you, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.